Hey, this is Chris from GuitArmy, and in this lesson I'm going to be showing you how to play triads in E major on strings 1, 2, and 3, and 2, 3, and 4. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to play the E major triads on strings 1, 2, and 3 going up the neck. Let's take a look at how to play them. First one, we're going to start down here. I call this the lowest on the neck. It's going to be this one right here. It's basically G sharp, open B, the second string open B, then the first string open E. It's basically just part of this E major chord. So this is going to be your, it's going to be considered a first inversion triad because that's the third on the bottom. It goes third, fifth, and then root. All right, so that's your first one, your first E major triad down here. The next one is going to be this one right here. It's basically a D chord, just move up to, moved up 2 frets or a whole step. And with this one, what we have is we have the fifth in the bottom. We have the fifth, the root, which is E, and then G sharp, which is the third. That is a second inversion triad. It goes 5, 1, 3. So we have this one, first inversion, second inversion. And then the last one we have up here, it's going to be root, third, fifth, or E, G sharp, B. And that comes from this chord right here. You might be familiar with this E major bar chord. Well, if you just take a little piece of it here, what you're playing on strings 1, 2, and 3, if you're good enough to be able to get that first string, I usually let that one out. I usually don't play that one when I play that chord. And I should mention down here, with this one that looks like a D chord, this is your E major bar chord right there in that position. I consider this E major position number 3. All right, so we have this one. We have this one that looks like a D chord, second inversion, then back to root position. And then after this, we go back, we start repeating, and we go back to this one here. It's the same one as this one. So it's going to be, the chord tones are the third, the fifth, and the root. Basically part of an E major bar chord. So to recap, we have this one, this one, this one, and this one. And those are your 3 different E major triads on strings 1, 2, and 3. Now let's take a look at how to play E major triads on strings 2, 3, and 4 going up the neck. So now we're going to take a look at your E major triads on strings 2, 3, and 4. We're going to start right down here with this one. What I'm playing here is this E on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And then we have the G sharp here on the 3rd string, 1st fret, and then the 2nd string open, which is a B. This is a root position triad because it goes root, 3rd, 5th. So instead of playing this whole E chord, if you wanted, you could just play this little triad. All right, so this is the first one down here, root position. The next one's going to look like this. And what we have here is we have the G sharp, which is the 3rd, the B, which is the 5th right here, and then E, which is the root. So this is considered a first inversion triad because it has the 3rd in the bottom. This is 1, 3, 5. And then this has a 3rd in the bottom, 3, 5, 1. I really like this one. The triads on the strings 2, 3, and 4, I think really lend themselves for playing rhythm. So if you were going to play from an A chord to an E chord, you could go. They're nice and easy, they're light, they sound good. They're less heavy than these big fat bar chords. So not only are they fantastic for rhythm, but they're also great for creating leads as well, which we'll get into in the future. All right, so far we have the root position triad, then we have first inversion, and then we're going to go up here and have second inversion, which is the 5th, the root, and the 3rd. It's basically just a piece of this chord, this E major bar chord. It's just all we're doing is we're playing the triad, just what's on strings 2, 3, and 4. You can hold it like this, or you can hold it like this. A lot of times I like to hold it like this because I like to do these kind of embellishments. All right, so this is the second version, and then we go back up here to root position. So there really is only three. There's just these three. But then once we go back up here, then we're repeating. All right, so that is how you play your three different E major triads on strings 2, 3, and 4. If you would like to get charts for everything that I'm going over in this guitar lesson, you can do that over on my Patreon page. I will also put the audio for the song that the backing track that I'm soloing over, and the one I'm going to put at the end of this video. Those audio files and all the charts are going to be over on my Patreon page. For as little as only $1 a month, you can support this channel and get access to all kinds of cool lessons. So if you want to check that out, it'd be awesome. The link is going to be down in the description. Now that you've learned how to play the E major triad on strings 1, 2, and 3 going up the neck, now let's take a look at the pentatonic scale that goes around that triad. All right, now I'm going to show you where the pentatonic scale is around these major triads. We're going to first do this on strings 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to take this E major first inversion triad here, which is G sharp, B, E. And our pentatonic that is right around there, it's a little tough because E major pentatonic, it's easier to play it here, which I would consider second position of my, how I consider the major scales, because you end up with certain notes that are off the neck down here. So for down here, we're just going to go. And so I'm playing this G sharp and open B, C sharp, open E. And number-wise, it goes 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, which is F sharp. If I need to do something a little fancier, I might go up here and just play it right here. So that is the E major pentatonic right around this triad. All right, if we were going to go up to this one right here, the second inversion triad, then my brain goes right to where is E major pentatonic right here, and it would be here. And this would be the fifth, so it goes 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5. If you're thinking, well, man, I'm not going to remember all this, on my Patreon page, you can go over there and get all the charts. And I'll mention that in another section of the video. But all these charts are going to be available to you as well. All right, so then after we do this, we're going to go up here to this one. To me, I think there's kind of two different variations of this. I could use the pentatonic right here. Sometimes you'll see me use this finger or this finger. This would be what I would consider proper fingering. But a lot of times I've kind of grown used to just using 3 fingers. So for this root position triad here, it goes 1, 3, 5. That's your E major pentatonic right there. Or as a second variation, if you didn't want to play it right here, if you're thinking of this one, you might want to go up here, which to me is position number 5. So you have this option, or this one right here. And then once we get back up here to this first inversion one where it goes 3, 5, 1, then we're kind of back up. If you know this pentatonic pattern, most guitar players are probably going to know, like E major position number 1 pentatonic pattern. Well, if I'm going to play this triad, I'm always thinking about the pentatonic that's around there as well. And if you're wondering, well, why are we not doing the scale? And we could, like, here's E major. I can play the scale. The reason I like to teach people to think more about the pentatonic is, what if you're going from we're in the key of A to E. If I was to play, obviously I can't play the E major scale because we're in the key of A. They're different notes. So if you're kind of training your brain to think, I'm playing A, now I'm going to E. There's less chance of you playing a wrong note because you're just playing the pentatonic. So if I'm doing this E, and then it goes back to A, I have this triad. So you have to be careful. That's why I think it's really good to know your triads, and then the pentatonic that goes around it. And then if you want to put in any other notes, you need to make sure that you're putting in notes that are in the key that you're in. All right, so that was the pentatonic scale around triads on strings 1, 2, and 3. Now let's take a look at the pentatonic scale that is based around the triads on strings 2, 3, and 4. All right, now we're going to take a look at the pentatonic scale based around strings 2, 3, and 4. The first one is going to be this root 3rd, 5th. And the pentatonic that I'm going to think about is going to be this one right here. The actual scale goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. But for these purposes, we're just going to think about the pentatonic scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 1, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. All right, if we go up to this one right here, this is one of my favorite pentatonic patterns, which is E major position 3, which I really love. So I just find this chord's easy to play. So if I was going to do like a 1, 4, 5 in the key of E, it would be E, A, B, E. So like these are just they're so fun to play. They're heavily used in like rock, like Eddie Van Halen would use these all the time. So what I did there again is I went from E, then to the 4 chord, which is A, and then to the 5 chord, which is B, which is based off of this one right here, and then back to E. So like to me, these are fun. These are great for rhythm playing as well as lead playing as well. So we have this triad here, and the pentatonic around it would go. This being the root right here, so it's going 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 2, 1, 6, 5, 3, 2. Sorry, it's a little more confusing going backwards. All right, so that is your pentatonic right around this triad. Then if we go up here, it's going to be the same deal as the last one. It depends on if I think of it as this pattern, kind of based around this chord, it's going to go. If I'm thinking about the alternate version, would be as if I'm using this finger, then I'm going to be thinking about this pentatonic pattern, position 5. So it just depends on how you're grabbing the chord. If I grab this one, I might use this one. Might think of that one if I'm up here. I might be thinking of that one. All right, so they're the 2 pentatonic patterns around this second version major triad. And then once we go up here, this is basically just repeating this one. But you can see you can play it more like how the pattern actually is, where it goes 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So I'm always, if I'm playing this, I'm always visualizing the pentatonic pattern around it, so that I can add in either fill notes, maybe put a little lead, or maybe I want to, if I take this third and put in the fourth, turn it into a sus4 chord. All right, so those are your pentatonic patterns that are based around your E major triads on strings 2, 3, and 4. Coming up next is an E major backing track. And when I say E major backing track, I mean it's only the chord E major. So that's kind of boring, but the reason I'm doing it is so that you can practice playing these triads on strings 1, 2, and 3, and 2, 3, and 4, and practice soloing with E major pentatonic around the triad. So that's the whole point of it. So enjoy the backing track. Thanks for taking the time to check out this guitar lesson. If you want to see more, or if you want to support the channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I come out with more guitar lessons. And also, if you're interested in supporting the channel, head on over to my Patreon and see what I have to offer over there. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So I will see you in the next lesson.